Hello and welcome to another episode of I Demand a Homestead. My name is Amanda and today we're going to be discussing something which I did not intend to discuss because we haven't had a problem with predators in our chicken coop for the whole kind of like 6 years that I've kept chickens. But we have been recently, so we're going to talk about how to keep your chickens safe from predators. I had been planning this week to actually kind of show you guys how we've kind of transformed our garden from kind of garden beds to these raised rows. I guess I'm going to delay that because I haven't been able to finish it yet, because this is what I've discovered about homesteading is that, or backyard homesteading in our case, that sometimes things just break or some animals get sick, or in this case it's predators, and all of a sudden your plans for the day are just thrown out the window. So what we have here in our coop, when we built it, we knew that we had various different predators because we're right in the woods here, right? So if you're going to keep chickens, what you do need to think about is what kind of predators you have in the area. Okay, so if you're in the suburbs, you might have raccoons, you might have coyotes, you might have foxes even living in your area. We've got all those things, in addition to weasels and some other things as well, like owls and hawks and that kind of stuff. So when we built this coop, we knew that the previous owner had chickens and he'd lost some to weasels. So what we did is we really made sure that we put something called hardware cloth. Let me show you what this looks like. It's this stuff, okay? It's metal, it's mesh, because a weasel can fit in any hole that is like an inch. And so we really kind of reinforced it here too with these screws and these washers, okay? Because if you use staples, like a fox or a coyote can kind of grab hold with their teeth and pull on this, and staples won't be enough, all right? So that's why we kind of did it the way we did it. So we actually put that, if you look, it's all around the base of our coop, and it goes all the way down, and it's actually dug down in here, down to a depth of about a foot. Okay, so, and we did that all the way around the run too. So you'd think to yourself, oh, that's pretty safe, right? But recently, as I bump into the fence, this past summer, my husband, and it's kind of covered in recent pine leaves, or pine needles and leaves, replaced the roof on this coop because it was leaking. So in the process of doing that, we had some hardware cloth on the inside that I was using just to prevent the chickens from nesting up there. But it looks, we took that down. We took down the hardware cloth on the inside so that we could repair the roof. And I kind of left it that way because I thought, well, the chickens aren't roosting up there now, so I don't have to worry about it. Ha ha ha, not so correct. So I had lost a couple of my older birds. They were about 6 years old, and I kind of assumed that that was because they were old. But today, this morning, I came into, you can see, a whole bunch of white feathers, and one of my white new egg layers was dead and was missing its head. Clearly not a disease or old age as I had initially thought with the other two birds. And so then obviously, then you start looking to find out what it is. So what we did is we kind of did a little perimeter watch around, look around, because that's always what I have been thinking about in past, is something digging. What we see is, I can show you this. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. So something has chewed a hole in the soffit of this shed coop. Just get my finger out of the shot. So And before, that would have been fine because we had hardware cloth on the inside. But because we took it down, when we redid the roof, all of a sudden, the weasel has easy access to my chickens. The spot where I showed you that hole is actually here. You can't even see it unless you put your hand down in, and then you can feel where yeah, it's right here. That's where the hole is. Like I wouldn't even be able to see that, but you can see the light, right? That's way, if I said an inch is big enough for a weasel, that's like a highway. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna fix all this. Hello, girls. Because we take it pretty seriously keeping these ladies safe. And they're gonna go inside just because I'm filming them, and apparently they're gonna be shy. Because if you are looking after creatures, hello little girl, you need to make sure that you are doing what you need to protect them, right? Because they've got no other way to defend themselves. So this is super important. If you're gonna keep chickens, you need to make sure that they're gonna be safe. Hello, right? Hello. Okay, so we'll show you how we get that started. I know. All right, so what we're doing, you can kind of see it. We've got another piece of lumber here that's going above the chipboard, and we're gonna screw it into the 2x4s that are kind of make up the frame, right? Which covers up that hole of the infernal but natural weasel. All right, so now what we've done is after we place that board up there to reinforce where the hole is, I have stapled hardware cloth all the way down, and Ben is gonna fall off his ladder. And I'm gonna do that all the way along under the soffits here. Okay, so our coop has been reinforced, and hopefully these girls are now safe again. So the last part of what we did is we put more hardware cloth. So we're kind of thinking that this is a weasel that we're dealing with. I think it's kind of all evidence is suggesting that. So you have to kind of imagine that a weasel can fit in through an inch space. So I've put hardware cloth kind of all along where the weasel might be coming along the roof. Okay, you can kind of see that. But what you really do have to pay attention to here also are these corners. All right, so you can kind of see what I've done. Oop, if I actually point the camera at it, where I've kind of wrapped hardware cloth around, okay? And as I said before, I'm using staples, but in some places I've used these big galvanized nail staple thingies. Okay, so that's what we've done all the way around, okay? So that way, there's no, hopefully, I shouldn't say there's no way, but I hope, and it's all around the back too, I hope that that we're not gonna have any more weasel incursions. We shouldn't, although these animals have to survive too. And so they're very determined, right? Rightfully so. And then our entire chicken run, as I mentioned before, is encased in hardware cloth, and that is also screwed with washers to the top kind of frame of the coop there as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside and have a look around, but I think that's gonna be it. I am obviously going to be kind of walking around this coop kind of every day for the next couple of weeks, just to see if there's anywhere where something is starting to chew, where maybe it wasn't before, to see if they're gonna try and get in another way. I can't see any way that they would get in other than, like, you know, drilling or perhaps explosives, but you never know. And I take my the safety of my animals very, very seriously, so I'll be watching this very closely. All right, so thank you for joining me on another episode of I Demand a Homestead. If you like this video, feel free to press the, let's get you out of the sun, the subscribe button and the notification bell for when I put up more videos. All right, everybody, have a good day, take care, happy chicken keeping. Bye-bye.